Hi, good night, and welcome to Prophetic Time. I'm Apostle Dr. J. Caprietta, and tonight I'm going to be talking about a new dream that I had. It's called She Died and He's Dead. And I'm just going to take this time for you to log on and for you to share this broadcast with others. Right before I get started on sharing this dream, I'll give about 3 minutes before I get going on sharing this dream tonight. So as you come in, just say hi. Perhaps say where you're from, and greet one another as you come on in. Go ahead, like, share, comment, share with your family, your friends, your loved ones. This is going to be a dream that I had about over a week ago, and was trying to just think about it, pray about it to see, whether or not I should share it publicly. So I came to a decision to share it with you all tonight. So go ahead and share this to everybody that you can. Okay. I want to welcome everybody on here tonight. Those of you that are on Facebook, I saw Yvette came on first. Then we have Karen who came on here second tonight, and on Facebook, and then Sissy who came on third on Facebook, and then we have Ruth St. John on YouTube came on first, and then actually it was Joanne that came on first, and Ruth came on second, and Shannon came on third. And so I want to welcome all of you. I want to welcome every one of you on here tonight. And I'm about to share a dream that I had. So I'm not going to be on here very long tonight. But, I received this dream over a week ago, and I was thinking about sharing it then. But I just wanted to have a quick pause before I'm about to say what I'm about to say. And the timing of this dream, occurred before something came out on the news that was in favor of this dream. And when it came out, then I knew that I had to share this dream. And so I'm going to go into the dream right now. I'm going to start, and then I'm going to, at the end, kind of give a little bit of an interpretation or symbolisms with regards to it. So I had a dream, and in this dream, I saw President Donald Trump. He had won the presidency once again, but what unfolded next was unlike anything I've ever seen before. I saw him standing in a grand hall, a place of majesty and authority, and before him he stood the Queen of England and also the King of England. And the Queen's expression was solemn, almost resigned, as if she knew what was coming. In her trembling hands, she held a set of keys, golden, ancient, and full of weight. They were not just ordinary keys, they represented the kingdom itself. With a slow and deliberate motion, she extended her hands and placed the keys into President Trump's palms. And at that moment, there was a shift, something unseen, but it was something very powerful. It was as if history itself had just been rewritten. The moment the keys touched the hands of President Donald Trump, he didn't hesitate. He turned, he walked with urgency towards this massive door, and he thrust the keys into the lock. The sound of the lock turning was thunderous, echoing through the halls like a final decree. The kingdom had been sealed. The queen was immediately escorted out, but as she walked away, she barely made it past the threshold before she collapsed. She was dead. There was no warning, there was no struggle, just a swift and sudden end. But then, standing in the shadows, a king emerged. He just came out of nowhere. He had been anointed by the queen to take her place, but not by God. This was a man-made coronation, not a divine one. He wore the garments just like any new king would. He sat on the throne, but there was something deeply wrong. He had absolutely no power. Now, in this dream, I looked at him and saw something strange. He was dead, but alive. His lips moved. His presence remained, but there was no authority in him whatsoever. He had no dominion. He had no voice. He had no control. He was only a figurehead, a ghost of the past. And then I looked beyond the palace, and what I saw shook me to the core. I saw the kingdom itself had died. The great empire that had once ruled for centuries was no more. I saw nations trembling, uncertain, talking amongst themselves in hushed, anxious whispers. Nations that had once belonged to the crown, Canada. I saw Australia. I saw the Bahamas. I saw Jamaica. I saw New Zealand. And many other nations were suddenly completely detached. Even the nations that were under the crown were affected. I saw world leaders in closed-door meetings. Their faces looked pale. They were scared. Their hands were gripping documents and maps. They were trying to understand what just happened. Every one of them were confused. They were in fear and disbelief. They asked, how could this be? How did this one man accomplish all of this and we never saw it coming? That's what they said. How could this be? How did this one man accomplish all of this and we never saw it coming? I'm going to say it again. All of the global leaders, governments, executives, they were in fear and they said, how could this be? How could this one man accomplish all of this? And we never saw it coming. And then it became clear. This was supernatural. What had unfolded had been beyond human planning. This was a divine intervention. Then I saw great wealth. It wasn't just gold or silver. It was a treasury hidden for generations. I saw vaults being opened, vaults that were in underground facilities opened. Vaults that were not supposed to be opened were opened. Artifacts, loads and loads of artifacts were in these vaults. Treasures that were long forgotten, that we didn't know, the general public didn't even know existed. These vaults were opened. There was gold, silver, rubies, diamonds, and other precious stones and metals that we didn't even know existed. Riches beyond comprehension. The wealth of nations was being revealed. And as I stood in the vision, I heard a voice speak 3 times. Each time the words were spoken with weight, with finality. It said, "The queen has died, but the king is dead. The queen has died, but the king is dead. The queen has died, but the king is dead." And as these words were spoken, I saw President Trump step forward. He began to gather the nations to restructure territories, to bring order where there had been none. He was not just leading, he was reordering. And then the dream abruptly ended. Whew. As I was pondering upon what this was all about, this dream carries some profound prophetic symbolisms about leadership, transitions, the shifting of nations, and divine intervention in global affairs. Number one, I wanted to point out was the transfer of authority. The Queen handing President Trump the keys represents a shift in global leadership and influence. I believe it suggests a major restructuring of power dynamics extending beyond just the United States. I believe it's a mantle of authority that was passed down, and with it, the order of governance around the world has changed. I saw the king in the dream as a figurehead. The king in the dream had a title, but he had no power. I believe this could symbolize a leadership structure that could remain in place for some time, but would lack true authority. It reflects a shift where some will appear to rule, but in reality, their dominion will be hollow. So that can be for nations like Canada. It could be like nations like Australia. It could be for nations all around the world that seemingly have power in their leadership, but in reality, their dominion is hollow. The other point I want to make is the collapse of an empire. The dream reveals that the kingdom itself had died. This could represent the fall of an old system, the end of a global order, or the decline of a long-standing alliances. The fact that nations once under the crown, like Canada, Australia, and Bahamas, and others, were affected suggests to me that there's a radical restructuring of international, or what they say, global power. Even nations not historically tied to the crown were caught up in the shift of all of this. I would say it's indicating that it's a greater or wider geopolitical transformation that is taking place right now. There's a supernatural element to the dream that I mentioned. And what was said was that the dream, within the dream, what took place was not because of human orchestration. Nations were left in shock, wondering how could such a major shift happen without them seeing it coming, without them even knowing about it. This speaks of divine intervention, God shifting the nations according to his sovereign plan. Then I spoke about wealth and artifacts in the dream, the revelation of gold, silver, and precious treasuries. I believe this signifies hidden wealth being uncovered or being restored back to the people. It could also represent an economic shift that is taking place, a transfer of resources, or the unveiling of what has been concealed for generations. You know, there's a saying that goes, those who win the wars write the history. So history has been rewritten, but now we're going to be able to get the true history revealed to us with artifacts, with evidence. Then there was the repetition of the death announcement in my dream. In prophetic dreams, repetition is a form of confirmation. The statement that was in the dream was, the queen has died, but the king is dead. That being heard 3 times usually means the finality of an older order and the rise of something new. The queen's death was sudden, but the king, though alive in appearance, was already dead in function. And this could represent also an empire or leadership that exists in name only, but not in true influence, having true influence. And so what does this all mean? What is it? What does this shift mean for the church? How does this impact America and America's role in the world? What is God revealing about the future of international or global leadership and governance? I wanted to share this dream with you guys. I do not claim to have all the answers. But what I'm telling you is that something big has happened. And in time, it will all be revealed. The day after I had this dream, President Trump made an announcement that he was going to redevelop Gaza. And that blew my mind, and I'm pretty sure it blew a lot of people's minds. This is the day after. I had the dream, and then the day after my dream, he made the announcement. And I knew that I had to share this dream. Folks, I don't have all the answers. And I'm pretty sure none of us on here has the answers. But God is doing something great and mighty in this season. So get ready. Be prayed up. Get ready. There's this year, God had revealed to me that there's going to be a wealth transfer this year. Get ready for what God is about to do. Stay prayed up. It's so funny that tonight is the end of our fast, our 21-day fast. A powerful fast. We had a powerful fast at Essential Church. Many testimonies. God is doing something great in this season, folks. And I just wanted to share that dream with you tonight. And that's all I've got for you tonight. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the night. and stay perpetually blessed. Like and share this dream, and have a wonderful night. And I'll see you tomorrow for Bible study. Stay blessed. Love you all with the love of God. Bye for now.